Has anyone seen 3K? Hold on, I got this. 3K is a niche resolution that will never see widespread adoption.
Piss off, 2K! Fuck you, 4K! I'm the best! 3K for it!
I am so terribly sorry, that was Timothy. He can't be reasoned with, but I'm Tom now. I mean, it's Tom. We've locked Tim away, you know, we're two separate people, promise. And this is a Razer Blade 14 with a Ryzen AI 9 365 CPU and the NVIDIA RTX 5070. Now, what do we have here? A 14-inch laptop that actually performs well? No way! Well, that's what this laptop is, and with the specs I've just mentioned, I'm sure this laptop performs like an absolute workhorse. And with the fully powered 5070, this laptop will run games like butter. That said, let's get to the performance. Now, these games will be played at the native resolution of 2880 by 1800, which is... it's a weird resolution, but whatever. Let's start off with CS2. Now, at pretty high settings, we get an average FPS of around 160 frames per second. That's alright, it's not too bad, and 1800p it's kind of a high resolution to display games anyway, so I'll tell you about it later. Moving on from that, we have Cyberpunk 2077. Now, Cyberpunk 2077 plays rather okay with the laptop. At the native resolution, at the highest settings with no ray tracing and DLSS set to quality, we get an average FPS of not more than 60. Again, it's not too bad. It's fine, really. It's not bad for a single-player game. Now, you know what? This laptop actually isn't that bad of a performer. Might I remind you that this is a 14-inch laptop that's very slim. The Ryzen processor on this laptop's optimized for AI tasks, but if you're actually into AI tasks, the GPU, or the 5070 in this case, is usually just better for that anyway. With that said, the native screen resolution of 2880 by 1800 is just bothersome to use. I don't mean that actually, but I just think you'd be better off at 2560 by 1600 or 2560 by 1440. Basically, 1600p or 1440p. Those are better choices since they're a step above 1080p. 1800p is just not really worth the lower FPS for the insignificant increase in quality or clarity. You'll be fine with 1600p or 1440p. Now, that said, this laptop's screen is actually OLED, so that's really great. It's gonna be beautiful with very deep blacks, and it's also gonna be quite bright. Granted, this laptop only has a refresh rate of 120Hz, but for an OLED screen, I'd give this a pass. Now, if you're a competitive gamer, you'll also do just fine since the OLED screen has practically instant response times. Now, here's something that pains me to talk about. There's practically no upgradability with this laptop. The laptop comes with soldered RAM, and this specific one we've got for you comes with 32GB of RAM. If you're just the average user, this is more than enough. You know, it's great. I would be happy with 32GB. It's good enough for multitasking. As for the storage, there's only one SSD slot, and that's already occupied. Upgrading this means replacing it as well, and I would very much upgrade the storage as soon as I can, what with games getting larger day by day. As a general rule of thumb, thin laptops with very powerful hardware is a recipe for disaster because of, you guessed it, bad thermal design. The Razer Blade 14 actually handles heat well. This laptop's design is beautiful. I love it. It's just a square, or a rectangle. It's just a block is what it is, and it's a thin and small block at that, and I'm honestly all for it. It's super sleek and it's super simple, and personally, I think the only thing that's holding it back from perfection is the absurdly large logo on the laptop's lid. But it's understandable since it's the laptop's brand anyway. Now, the laptop has the charging port, a USB-A port, a Type-C port, and a 3.5mm audio port on the left, and to the right we have a micro SD card slot, which is... but at least there's a micro SD card slot. You know, it's useful for professionals or photographers and whatnot. And then there's another Type-C port, another USB-A port, an HDMI 2.1 port, and that's it. So, for about $2,100, do I think this is a laptop worth buying? Hell yeah! And if I were to choose between different laptops, Call me a simpleton, call me a fool, call me an idiot, but I would go for this primarily because of its design, and the hardware is going to be an afterthought, but that's just me. But objectively, is it worth $2,100? Absolutely. Gaming performance is great, the screen itself is great, it's an OLED screen for crying out loud. It's super mobile, it's easy to carry around because of its size and its weight, and honestly, what's not to love about this laptop, apart from the battery life? The battery life is kind of subpar, which is a shame since it's the perfect size and weight for bringing it out to cafes or to university and whatnot. Anyway, I've talked about this laptop enough. Go on ahead and scan this QR code or click on the link in the description below and then buy the thing already. No, I'm not recommending or suggesting it. I'm telling you, I'm ordering you, I am commanding you to buy it right now. I'm kidding, don't actually buy it unless you're confident that you like it. Anyway, I'm Tom, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.